Hi everyone, welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming CIMA Strategic Case Study examinations happening in February 2023. My name is Nick and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for SCS at TCS. So, all right, we've got some more people joining in. All right, so let's look at the session outcomes for tonight. I'm going to take you through the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to the SCS exam, thereby providing an in-depth overview about the exam and what the CIMA examiner expects out of you. So that's the first part of tonight's session. And as the second part of tonight's session, which is the most important part, I'll be providing you sharing with you a 6-week study plan. And if you stick to this study plan, your life becomes extremely easy and you can manage your time appropriately, because most students, they wait until the last moment to start preparations, but they actually end up failing the exam because they run out of time and they panic right at the very end. So in order to avoid such outcomes, it's better to stick to our 6-week study plan. And this 6-week study plan has already been uploaded on our website, so you can get your hands on it by checking out the free content which we have uploaded. Okay, so let me remind you about the 3 webinars which we are conducting for this session. So tonight's webinar is happening right now, where I'll be providing the 6-week study plan. The second webinar is happening on the 22nd of January, which is next Sunday. This is the most important webinar out of the 3, answering technique, where I'll be talking about what you need to do when it comes to developing answers, because you need to have an appropriate plan or methodology when it comes to developing your answers, or when it comes to planning your answers actually. And on top of that, linked with it, I'll be teaching how to manage your time appropriately, because as you already know, CIMA case study exams are time pressured examinations. You have to do a lot within 3 hours, and most students end up mismanaging their time, and because of that they provide half-hearted answers or answers which are incomplete. And if that is the case, your chances of passing the exam is extremely low. So you need to understand how to plan your answers as well as manage your time. And all these things will be covered in depth in our next webinar, which is happening on the 22nd Sunday. And if you stick to these guidelines, you can easily pass the exam. Okay. And when explaining these answering techniques, I will be taking you through the mini mock, which we have already uploaded onto our website. So based on a question and the answers of a mini mock, I'll be highlighting what you need to do when it comes to developing answer plans. And you are supposed to replicate the same methodology when attempting your mock exams. And once you practice it, your life becomes easier. You can replicate the same method at your real exam as well, thereby having appropriate time at your hands. When it comes to attempting each and every task, you'd manage your time, and on top of that, you'd be in a position to come up with high quality answers, thereby passing the SCS exam easily. And in the third and final webinar, which is happening on the 4th of February, I'll be taking you through techniques as to what you need to do to develop your confidence both before the exam, as well as what you need to do to maintain the same level of confidence at the exam. Because as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. And on top of that, I'll also highlight what the CIMA examiner has highlighted or what the CIMA examiner expects out of you. So based on these tips provided by the CIMA examiner, you are in a position to figure out what you need to do and what you need to avoid. So that will be handled or covered in the third webinar. All right, so let's look at the pathway to SCS. So there are a set of students coming through the CIMA general route. So these students had done their OTQ exams. They have passed their E3, F3 and P3 exams. So these students find the SCS exam to be relatively easy. Why? Because out of the 3 case studies, when you consider OCS, MCS, and SCS, SCS is the most practical exam. So because of that, um, most students coming through the CIMA general route find the SCS exam to be the easiest out of the 3 case studies. All right. So if you are coming through the CIMA general route, then if you attempt our mock exams, you can easily pass the exam because you already have an appropriate level of knowledge about what CIMA exams are, or what CIMA case studies are. You already know how to tackle CIMA case studies because you should have already done or completed OCS and MCS exams. So with that, if you attempt our mocks, then you can easily pass the exam. And there are a set of students coming through the FLP program or the finance leadership program. This is an exemption route. And most students end up landing at SCS straight away. And these students, since they have not done the OTQ exams, and since they have not attempted a CIMA case study previously, they would find it a bit hard to figure out how to tackle a CIMA exam, because what you need to know is a CIMA case study is totally different to an academic qualification. CIMA is a professional qualification. So in a professional qualification, rather than replicating theories, you need to provide practical recommendations. You are supposed to play a role of an individual who is directly reporting to the board members, and you'd be involved with long-term decision making within the organization. I'll reiterate these points later on as well. So as an individual involved with strategic decision making, you need to come up with practical decisions which are totally aligned with the problems faced by the company. So you'd find the SCS exam to be a bit hard, and most students coming through the FLP route struggle to pass the exam, but there's absolutely nothing to worry. We have developed a study system especially focused on these individuals coming through the exemption route to ensure that you would have an appropriate level of theoretical knowledge, as well as you know how to apply this knowledge, and which paves way to you passing the exam. For instance, I had about 7 students coming through the FLP route last time, and out of the 7 students, 6 of them passed the exam. Why? Because they stuck to the study plan which we provided. Okay, so if you stick to the study plan, and if you invest time to go through the material which we have provided, even if you are coming through the FLP route, you can pass first time. That's the guarantee which we provide. All right, then let's look at the exam. This is a PC-based exam, 100% PC-based exam, and the time allocation is 3 hours, and your entire paper is divided into 3 main tasks. So the time allocation for each task comes up to 60 minutes each. So you might think that you have so much time on your hands. Believe me, you would run out of this if you do not know a proper answering technique, or if you do not stick to a proper answering technique. Okay. However, if you stick to our methodology, which will be highlighted in the upcoming webinar, then out of these 60 minutes, you just need something around 50 to 55 minutes. You'd actually have time to go through your answer or recheck your answer. Okay. So that's the time allocation per task, and the pass mark is 80 out of 150, or 54%. All right, so let's look at an overview of the exam. Information is provided about a fictitious company in advance via a pre-seen document. So I think you would have gotten your hands on the pre-seen document already. So in this pre-seen, information about the company as well as its industry and the financial statements are provided. So the examiner, comes up with a fictitious company. This is not a real life company. Okay, this is a fictitious company, and via the pre-seen document, the examiner will give you information about what has happened within the company in the past, the history of the company, and also the internal dynamics of the company will be highlighted. What type of leadership is there? what type of departments are there, what happens within these departments, what type of products and services these guys are selling, what type of markets they are in, what type of stakeholders the company deals with. All these type of relevant information will be provided. And on top of that, industry dynamics are also highlighted so that students have a better understanding about the type of market the company operates in. And on top of that, at the very end, financial statements or excerpts of financial statements will be provided, thereby providing the SOPL, the SOFP, as well as the statement of changes in equity. And the same financial statements of a competitor will also be provided so that you can compare between the two companies and see where we stand relative to our competitor. Okay, so all these things are covered via the pre-scene document, and there's hordes of information in the pre-scene document. Usually a pre-scene document goes on for 25 pages or more. So in such a context, most students are not too clueless. Actually speaking, most students are clueless about what type of information they are supposed to remember and what type of information they can leave out. So in order to make your life easier, what we at TCS, what we do is we come up with something called the annotated pre-scene. So it's the same pre-scene document, but what we do is we provide annotations onto the right of the document. So based on these annotations, what we are trying to achieve is we are trying to summarize the entire pre-scene, thereby taking out the most important points. And on top of that, as part of these annotations, I will be highlighting any syllabus content or syllabus areas which can be tested, because via the pre-scene document, the examiner will provide you with some hints about what can be tested or scenarios which can be tested at the real exam. So all these type of hints as well as syllabus content and main points will be taken out and mentioned under the annotation. So if you go through these annotations, as you can see throughout the pre-scene document, you can see different types of annotations being made. So you just need to go through these annotations and that's all you need to be conversant with. Okay, if you go through all these points, then you'd remember what is highlighted within the pre-scene. And on top of that, we are providing 3 TikTok videos summarizing the entire pre-scene within 9 minutes. So I have already shared these TikTok videos on the group, on the WhatsApp group. So please go through them. And what I would urge you to do is, on a daily basis, go through these TikTok videos. It's just going to take 9 minutes of your time. Okay, go through these TikTok videos on a daily basis so that you keep reminding yourself about the most important points. So there's absolutely nothing to worry with regards to studying. You need not study the pre-scene. We are providing an annotated pre-scene, and we are making your life easier by providing 3 TikTok videos. Keep reminding yourself about the most important points, then you need not study anything. So that's the type of benefit you get by referring to the annotated pre-scene and watching the TikTok videos. And in the exam, you are required to address issues or questions relating to the strategic direction of the company. You are involved with long-term decision making. So because of that, you are supposed to be involved with strategic decision, or you are stipulating the strategic direction of the company. So when stipulating the strategic direction of the company, or when providing recommendations pertaining to issues faced by the company, the examiner tries to figure out whether you have an appropriate level of knowledge about the company and the industry. So as I told you earlier, if you go through the TikTok videos and if you refer to the annotated pre-scene, you would cover these 2 areas. You would have enough and more knowledge about the company as well as the industry. And on top of that, the examiner is not only trying to figure out whether you have knowledge about the company and the industry. The examiner tries to figure out whether you have studied E3, P3, and F3. So whenever there are issues and whenever you are providing recommendations, you are supposed to apply your knowledge which you have gained through the OTQ exams. So this is exactly why I said that students who are coming through the exemption route, such as FLP, would find it a bit difficult to achieve this because they have not done the OTQ exams. But as I've highlighted earlier, we have developed several services, especially focused on FLP students. So you need not worry about this too much because we have covered these areas to ensure that you know E3, P3, and F3 related knowledge areas. Okay, so you need to have the knowledge about the company as well as the industry and knowledge about E3, P3, and F3. Just having knowledge about this theoretical content won't help you. You need to understand how to apply this knowledge to a real business situation. Again, we have come up with a set of videos covering these application related needs as well. So that's the overview of the exam. Then let's try to figure out what your role is or what you're supposed to do, or what type of a role you are supposed to play at the real exam. You are supposed to play the role of a senior finance manager. So a senior finance manager is involved with strategic decision making because you are directly reporting to the finance director or the CFO of the company. All right. And in your case study, you are supposed to report directly to the CFO. So you are involved with strategic decision making. You are at the very top of the organization. So as an individual who is at the very top of the organization, you need to have an outside in approach when it comes to decision making. What is an outside in approach? You need to know about the internal dynamics. That's a given because you are a senior finance manager. You need to know about the internal dynamics, but a high level of prominence is given to understanding the industry dynamics and understanding how different types of stakeholders work with the company, and because of changes brought in by different types of stakeholders, because of changes coming in, given changes in industry dynamics, you need to know how all these things affect the company. And when taking decisions, you need to know how industry dynamics will be affected based on your decision, and on top of that, how different types of stakeholders will be affected by your decisions. So all these things are there. You need to consider all these things as a senior finance manager, thereby having an outside in approach. Okay. And there are extreme levels of application and practical thinking expected for SCS. I highlighted this point earlier as well. So theoretical knowledge, although you need to know your E3, P3, and F3, testing of theoretical knowledge is limited. Instead, practical decision making is heavily tested. Okay, so for instance, let's assume there's a question pertaining to managing stakeholders. Okay, so when managing stakeholders, as you know, under E3, when it comes to managing stakeholders, you can utilize something like the Mendelov matrix. However, when providing your answers, you are not simply supposed to say, okay, in order to manage these stakeholders, we are supposed to use Mendelov matrix. That's not the type of answer you are supposed to provide. Rather than mentioning the name Mendelov matrix, you need to mention how to manage each and every stakeholder based on their level of power and their level of interest, and what we need to do to manage different types of stakeholders. So practical, your knowledge is tested in a practical manner. So practical decision making is heavily tested. Why? Because you are playing the role of a senior finance manager, and you might be playing a senior role within your senior managerial role within your company. So in such a context, you'd know what I'm talking about. Okay, you'd always have to think about the future, think about the long term when coming up with decisions affecting the company. So that's what you're supposed to play, the type of a role you are supposed to play within Hottayr, the company which is considered for this time's case study. All right, so before we go through the to-do list, 2 questions had come in. So let me address those. Okay, so let's go through the to-do list. Okay, so you need to fulfill all these requirements if you are to pass your SCS exam this time. So first things first, we are supposed to go through the annotated pre-scene. I showed you what the annotated pre-scene looks like, and we have developed 4 pre-scene analysis videos. And in these 4 videos, I've provided an introduction into the company based on the information provided on the pre-scene. I've conducted an industry analysis. I've highlighted the company operations or the internal dynamics of the company, as well as conducted a financial analysis based on the financial statements provided. Okay, so if you watch these 4 videos, you'd have an in-depth understanding about what is highlighted within the pre-scene document. Okay, so after going through these videos, what you are supposed to do is just keep watching the TikTok videos, as I mentioned earlier. Then you'd know what you are supposed to do. So let me also take you through the industry analysis slides which we provide. In these industry analysis slides, we provide an overview about the industry. We highlight about the competitive landscape, industry trends, because based on these trends, you would see scenarios at your exam. Okay, so via these trends, we are stipulating or forecasting about what can happen within the industry in the future. And at the very end, 2 real world examples are also provided. So what you need to remember is these industry analysis slides are provided on, in addition to the pre-scene document and the 4 videos which I mentioned. And the entire pre-scene analysis slides, or sorry, industry analysis slides are developed taking real life industry dynamics into consideration. You need to remember your pre-scene is based on a fictitious company, but our industry analysis slides are based on real life companies or real life industry dynamics. Why are we talking about real life industry dynamics? Then you are in a position to better understand what actually happens within your considered industry. And once you know what actually happens within your considered industry, then you can replicate the same type of information when you are developing your answers. So it's better to know about the real life industry nitty-gritties pertaining to the real life industry. Then you are in a position to better understand what the company is up to, and what type of an industry it operates in. Okay, so that's exactly what you can see here. And at the very end, 2 real life companies are considered in order to further carry out the evaluation. And on top of that, out of the 4 pre-scene analysis videos, the 4th video is conducted based on the financial analysis slides which we provide. So within these slides, the SOPL will be provided, and a synopsis pertaining to the information provided in the SOPL will be provided, and a synopsis about the SOFP, statement of financial position, as well as these are the slides for OCS. But in your set of slides, you would get the information pertaining to the statement of changes in equity. Then a ratio analysis is conducted, and as you can see, all ratios are summarized or provided in a concise manner, so that you can remember the numbers as well as the financial performance of the company easily. And the same is conducted for based on the financial statements of the competitor of Hottayr as well. All right, so as a senior finance manager, you need to know your numbers, and going through these slides pertaining to financial analysis is of utmost importance. So that's what you need to remember. Then you are supposed to watch 3 video lectures where we are taking you through the answers pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5. And when taking you through these answers, what I've tried to achieve is I'm explaining the answer, the logic of the answer, and on top of that, via the same video, I'm teaching theory. So if a question has something to do with gearing, then I'll be explaining the answer I'll be teaching theory. And on top of that, I'll highlight how this theory can be applied in your answer, or what you need to do when it comes to applying this theory in your answer. Okay, so by watching these 9 videos, we have come up with 9 videos in total. Especially these videos are beneficial for students who had failed the exam before, or students who had gotten less than 65 marks in the previous sitting. If that is the case, it shows that there's something wrong with your theory as well as application skills. So that is covered under these videos, and these videos are extremely important for FLP students, since you have not gone through theoretical content in depth, since you have not done the OTQ exams before. Okay, so it's of utmost importance that you watch these videos, 9 videos in total, and you are supposed to attend all webinars and watch the recorded version. So you can, if you might have friends who could not make it tonight, but that's totally fine. The recorded versions can be found under the free content tab via our website. And you are supposed to refer to different types of slides. I showed you what industry analysis slides look like, financial analysis slides, top 20 issues. So these highlight the type of scenarios which can be tested in your real exam. And we provide theory recaps pertaining to E3, F3, and P3. And by going through these theory recap slides, you can brush up your knowledge in these areas. And please remember, when it comes to your SCS exam, a high level of prominence is provided for E3. So if you need to know your E3 really well. Okay, and if you go through the theory recap slides, you'd you are in a position to brush up your knowledge in these areas. Then the most important task is to practice exam standard mock exams. We urge you to practice 5 mock exams. Why 5 mock exams? Because you can't cover the entire syllabus if you attempt just 2 or 3 mocks. Okay, when developing the mock exams, we had made sure to cover the entire syllabus so that no area is left out, so that the students know the type of answers to be provided at the real exam. So if I am to cover the entire syllabus, CIMA SCS syllabus, I have to develop 5 mock exams. And on top of that, if you are to cover the entire syllabus, you have to attempt 5 exam standard full 3-hour mock exams. So that's the most important part of the to-do list. And you are supposed to develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of each mock. In order to make your life easier, we have developed answer plans for mocks 3, 4, and 5. You are only supposed to develop 2 answer plans. Why are we suggesting that you develop these 2 answer plans for mocks 1 and 2? So that you get your bearing, so that you understand or practice the answering technique, which we will highlight in the next webinar. So you are supposed to practice the answering technique by developing answer plans for mocks 1 and 2. The other answer plans or answer plans for mocks 3, 4, and 5 have already been developed and uploaded to our website. Okay, so that's your to-do list. Then important dates which you need to remember if you are to attempt your exam this February, then you have to book your exam before the 7th of February. Okay, and the exam dates are from the 22nd to the 24th of February. Right, so this is the 6-week study plan which I was talking about. Okay, as you can see, it is as the name suggests, it's divided into 6 weeks. In the first week, which starts from the 15th of January, which is tomorrow, to the 22nd of January, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. It's just gonna take you about 2 hours to do it. You are supposed to watch. Oops, someone's writing something on the screen. Give me a second, please. Right. Okay, that's done. Okay, so you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene. That's gonna take 2 to 3 hours of your time. Nothing much. Okay, and watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos and refer to financial analysis, industry analysis, and top 20 issue slides, and refer to the SCS familiarization kit. So within the first week, you are not supposed to attempt any mocks. You are not supposed to do anything but go through the videos and go through the material which we have provided. Okay, so everything which happens within the first week is is handled by us. Everything's developed already. You just need to go through the material, so your life becomes easier during the first week. In the second week, you are supposed to which is from the 23rd of Jan to the 29th of January, you are supposed to refer to the theory recaps pertaining to E3, F3 and P3. Okay, and attempt 2 mocks. So the busiest week is the second week. Okay, out of the 6 weeks, the busiest is going to be the second week. Why? Because you are supposed to attempt 2 mock exams and refer to the theory recaps pertaining to E3, F3 and P3. And as you can see, before the second week, we have scheduled the second webinar, which is answering technique, because before you start attempting mock exams, you need to be conversant about the answering technique. So that's why we have scheduled it before the second week, before the start of the second week. Okay, and when attempting these 2 mock exams, I said that you are supposed to attempt mock 1 and 2 to get your bearings about what the SCS exam is going to be like. Okay, and however, although you are supposed to get your bearings, when attempting these 2 mocks, you are supposed to attempt it under simulated exam conditions. So you need to allocate 3 hours of your time, sit in one place, avoid any type of disturbance, and attempt the entire mock in one go. I've seen students breaking down each and every mock and doing it on a step-by-step basis. So I've seen students attempting the first task today, attempting the second task tomorrow, and attempting the last task day after tomorrow. That's not going to help you, because at the real exam, you cannot stick to a staggered approach. Instead, you have to sit in one place and attempt the entire mock in one go, thereby allocating 3 hours. So you need to, when practicing your mock exams, you need to replicate a real life exam situation. And that's exactly why I want you guys to do these mocks or attempt these mocks in simulated exam conditions. And we have developed an exam platform which is akin to the Pearson VUE system, which you would see at the real exam. So when attempting your mock exams, all 5 mocks can be attempted via our exam platform. Okay, so then it becomes easier for you to get yourself accustomed with real life exam conditions. So you are supposed to attempt 2 mocks in the second week and develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of mocks 1 and 2. So this is where you will be practicing your answer planning technique based on the suggested answers. And after I take you through the second webinar, you'd know what you are supposed to do. Okay, so I leave it at that as at now. Then from the third week onwards, things become a bit serious. You are supposed to attempt mock number 3 under simulated exam conditions, again via the exam platform. And from mocks 3 to 5, you would gain personalized tutor feedback. So you are supposed to attempt the mock on our exam platform, and within 48 hours of you completing the exam, you would get personalized tutor feedback from us. Okay, and after getting the feedback, you are supposed to watch the video lecture for mock number 3, where all the answers are discussed. So there are 9 videos in total, 3 videos for each mock exam. And as I told you earlier, in these video lectures, I'll be explaining the answer. I'll be explaining the theoretical elements tested, as well as I'll cover application or what you need to do when it comes to application. And all these explanations are based on answer plans which we have developed for mocks 3, 4, and 5. All these material can be found via our website. So the same should be done in week number 4 as well. Attempt mock number 4 under simulated exam conditions via our exam platform. Refer to personalized tutor feedback and watch the video lecture where I'm explaining the answers. And the same happens in the 5th week as well. And what are you supposed to do during the last week, which starts from the 19th of February up until the exam date? You are not supposed to do or attempt any mock exams. Instead, You are simply supposed to refer to study material which we have provided. You are supposed to refer to study material, which are financial analysis, industry analysis, and top 20 issue slides. Refer to answer plans of all 5 mock exams. So once you have answer plans, it's as if you have a summary of all the mocks which we have done so far. So rather than closer to the exam, rather than having to go through pages and pages of suggested answers, you have a summary of the entire answer. So this answer plan is actually a study summary. And once you have a summary of the answer, it's easier for you to go through all answers in a jiffy. And on top of that, it's easier for you to understand the structure of the answer, how each and every point is interrelated to each other. And on top of that, you are in a position to understand what the requirement is, and based on the requirement, what type of answers you are supposed to provide. Okay, so your life becomes easier. You are not referring to pages and pages of suggested answers. Instead, you are simply referring to the answer plans or answer summaries. Okay, so you can go through all the answers of all 5 mocks within a short period of time. And you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene one last time to refresh your memory, and watch the recorded video of SCS Webinar 3 exam prep, where, as I told you earlier, I'll be highlighting about what you need to do to develop confidence before the exam, as well as what you need to do to maintain the same level of confidence during the exam. And on top of that, I'll also be highlighting the tips or guidance provided by the CIMA examiner. So it's better to refresh your memory about all these things before you, or closer to the exam, before you sit the exam. And you are supposed to stop all work a day prior to the exam, sleep, eat, and rest well. So if your exams are happening on the 22nd of February, you are supposed to take a break on the 21st. You have to stop all work by the 20th of February. You might think that I'm stupid to say this, because most students are rushing for time or trying to find time closer to the exam. But I want you guys to relax. Why? Because the CIMA examiner is trying to replicate a real life exam scenario. Real life corporate environment. So in a real life corporate environment, if you are stressed, you can't think straight. So it's as if you are walking into office on a Tuesday. So you can't walk into the office with a fresh mind and think straight if you were drunk last night, or if you were under so much of stress last night. Okay, so I do not want you to be in any type of stress. I need you to be confident. I want you to feel confident, and you can easily feel confident if you stick to our study plan. Okay, and from the 22nd to the 24th of February, that's your SCS exam window. So as you can see, you have to just put in a lot of effort on the second week. Why? Because you are supposed to attempt 2 mock exams and develop answer plans based on the suggested answers. Other than that, from week 3 onwards, you just need to find 3 hours to attempt a mock on a weekly basis. Then that's you need not do anything else. You need not develop your own answer plans. We have provided the answer plans. You need not compare your answer to that of the suggested answer. We are providing feedback, tutor feedback. Okay, and you need not try to understand the logic of the answers. We have provided videos. So on a weekly basis, you are supposed to allocate just 3 hours of your time. So when attempting mock exams, let's assume you are in week number 3. You can leave out Monday, because Mondays are usually hectic within corporate environment. So you can leave out Monday. Let's assume you attempt mock number 3 on a Tuesday. Okay, so you do it on Tuesday, and within 48 hours you would receive feedback. So or by Thursday, you would receive feedback. So you attempt the mock exam on Tuesday, go through the answer plan, which we have uploaded to the website on Wednesday. It would take about just 1.5 hours. Okay, by Thursday, you would receive feedback. So you'd know what your shortcomings are. You'd know where you stand as a student. You'd know what you need to do to overcome your issues, which areas you need to improve upon. And on Friday, you can simply watch the 3 videos. It's going to take again just 1.5 hours of your time. Okay. And during Saturday and Sunday, if you think you need to brush up on any syllabus content, or if you feel that your typing speed is not up to standard, if you feel that your answering technique or answer planning technique needs to improve, you can work on these things. So you can do all these things leisurely rather than trying to focus too much or trying to do too much. The On a weekly basis, the most important thing which you need to do is to find time, find 3 hours to attempt your mock exams. Other than that, everything else is handled by us. And a typical student who sits for the SCS exam, what they do is they'd start working a week or two before the exam. But if you stick to our study plan, you are relaxing a week before the exam. It's better to go to the exam with a relaxed mindset. You'd do extremely well compared to your peers who are going through strenuous preparation time. You are not going through the same. Okay, so that's that. So I was talking about tutor feedback. So this is the type of tutor feedback you'd receive. So as you can see, for each and every paragraph, we have provided in-depth tutor feedback, thereby highlighting all the shortcomings. And at the very end, what we do is we provide the mark breakdown so that you understand where you stand as a student. Okay, and then you'd understand which areas you need to improve upon on a mock by mock basis. And we provide general comments about formatting, as well as how you have fared in an overall sense and in which areas you need to improve if you are to pass your exam. Okay, so that's the 6-week study plan. And we are proud to say that we achieved a 97% pass rate last time. And, out of, 9 students got more than 100 marks. You know for a fact that the pass rate is, the pass mark is actually 80 marks out of 150. But 9 of my students got more than 100 marks. And these guys stuck to the study plans which we provided. And all these students, most of them purchased the Value Plus package. And if you stick to our study plan, and on top of that, if you attempt the mock exams on time, if you go through all the material which we have provided, you can pass for sure. That's a guarantee which we are providing. All right, and we are offering a 10% discount until the 22nd of January. This is an early bird discount. You can use this discount code when you are purchasing your material via our website. So let me take you through the website and talk about the type of material which we provide. Yeah, so this is the, I'm at the SCS page of our website. By clicking on this button, you can check out the free content. Okay, you can access the free content actually. Sorry about that. Yeah, so by clicking on this button, you can access our free content. And by clicking on this button, you can check out the different type of sample material which we provide. So I urge you to go through the sample material before you invest on our products or services. And if you know friends who want to attend the webinars, they can simply register by clicking on this button. And one of the students was asking about the discussion forum, which happens via the WhatsApp. You can click on this button and join it easily. Okay. And let me talk about the type of services which we offer. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the Essential Pack. This is a product which suits students who are comfortable with 100% self-learning. So if you had aced your OTQ exams, if you had gotten really good marks for E3, P3, and F3, and if you feel comfortable about handling everything on your own, then you can, I urge you to go for the Essential Pack, because if you are comfortable with self-learning, you just need to stick to our study plan. All the material are provided under the Essential Pack. All the necessary material are provided under the Essential Pack. So you would get your hands on the recorded versions of the webinars. 5 mock exams with suggested answers, full pre-scene analysis videos, 4 videos in total again, and annotated pre-scene, industry analysis, financial analysis, and top 20 issues, likely issue slides, and the case study familiarization kit, and um, access to the online discussion forum. Okay, so this is priced at £99, and the second package is known as the value pack. This is something which is suitable for students who are looking for one-to-one tutor support and mentoring. Not all students are comfortable with self-studies or self-learning. So if you're not too comfortable with self-studies, then and if you feel that you need tutor support, then go for the value pack. Under the value pack, you'd get your hands on everything which I mentioned under the essential pack. On top of that, you'd have access to the online mock exam platform. So when attempting all your 5 mock exams, you can do it via the exam platform under real exam conditions, under simulated exam conditions, which is going to be extremely beneficial for you at the real exam. Okay. And professional marking and one-to-one tutor feedback will be provided on 3 mocks. As I told you earlier, professional marking and tutor feedback is provided for mocks 3, 4, and 5. And on top of that, you'd get your hands on the theory recaps pertaining to E3, P3, and F3 syllabus content, and the price is £199. And we have 2 more packages, Essential Plus and the Value Plus packages. Under Essential Plus, you'd gain access to all the study material which I mentioned about under the Essential package. On top of that, you'd get your hands on the 9 videos which I mentioned about previously, and via these videos, I'll be explaining the answers pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5. On top of that, I'll be highlighting theoretical content. I'll be teaching theoretical content based on the questions and the answers. And I'll highlight about application skills or what you need to do when it comes to applying theoretical knowledge in a real life exam situation. Okay, so this is suitable for students who are comfortable with self-learning, yet who wants to improve the quality of the answers. And that's the Essential Plus package. And the Value Plus package gives you the ultimate solution. This is an all-encompassing solution. So under that, you'd get your hands on everything, all the study material which I highlighted under the value pack. And on top of that, you'd get your hands on the 9 answer discussion videos pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5. And this is suitable for students who failed the exam previously. If you had scored if you had scored less than 65 marks, then you need to improve your application as well as theoretical knowledge. Then I urge you to go for the Value Plus package. And on top of that, especially if you're coming through the FLP route, you need to get your hands on the 3 videos to improve your chances of passing. So the Value Plus package is the most suitable for you, and the price is £275. And as I highlighted earlier, we are offering a discount, 10% discount these days. So if you are yet to invest on exam standard study material and mock exams, I urge you to invest on our products and benefit from this discount which we are offering. Okay, then any questions, guys, before we wind up the session? Any questions? All right, seems like there aren't any questions, so I'm gonna proceed. You can contact us via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com, or email us or WhatsApp us. So one of the students were asking about my WhatsApp number. So this is the number. Hope you can jot it down. All right. I'll actually post it on the chat section as well. Okay, I've shared it on the chat section. And you can follow us on our social media handles, especially YouTube and blog posts. All these webinars are uploaded onto YouTube as well. And please go through the blog posts. So just go onto our website and click on this button, TCS blogs, and there are various different blogs about what you need to do to improve the chances of passing your exam. So please go through these blog posts. Concluding thoughts: approach SCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. Having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's session. So thank you very much for joining in. I hope you'd join the second webinar, which is happening on next Sunday. Thank you very much and all the best. Good night.